turnout.
No, we're good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we are in the car with an amazing human being, an amazing lady that I met on Mount Shasta, and she has been camping out right on the mountain.
Yeah, 2 months.
For 2 months. It's been 2
yeah.
months,
Yeah.
and she has traveled the world. She's
On
now
a Social Security check from America.
On a Social Security check from America. She takes trains everywhere, and then flights.
If I have to fly, I fly.
If she has to fly, she'll fly. And well, tell us about it. Tell us a little bit. I asked her, "What are you going to do this winter?" And during winter months, and she told me what.
Oh, I'm going to go to Bangkok. First, I'm going to go to take the train. The Amtrak. I love the trains. You know.
Do you mind if I close the window so I can hear you better?
Okay. Yeah. I just want to get some air.
Yeah, just a little bit. Maybe I'll stop.
Yeah. I really love the trains and all the countries that have them. You know, like they have them in India, but they don't have them in Nepal. So
I'll stop right here so you're getting air, and so we're not distracted in driving. So you're.
So I'm going to go to San Francisco. I'm going to go on the Amtrak to San Francisco.
Amtrak to
and
San
explore
Francisco.
San Francisco for about 3 days. And there's some shopping that I have to do. You know, there's some things I have to do there. And then I'm going to fly to Bangkok. And I've been to Bangkok a couple times. There's a really super touristic area that is just crazy. I mean, there's something about Thailand and tourists that things just get out of hand there. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Where do you stay when you're there?
Well, I was in Khao San, and that's this really touristic, crazy place in Bangkok. You know, and it's on the river. It's very interesting. And at night, there's like food on the street. You know, it's,
oh my God.
yeah, and everybody's crowding there doing the food. But also I want to go up to Chiang Mai again, and
Chiang Mai?
Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai. It's China.
No, this is Thailand.
Chiang Mai is Thailand.
Yeah, Chiang Mai, and then there's Chiang Rai, which I have never been to, and then there's this really hippie place called Pai. That's over here. Yeah, so Chiang Rai is over here, and Pai is over here. I was just looking at this. And but to get to Pai, the road is supposed to have like 700 turns on it. So a lot of times people fly, and the flight is really cheap. I might take a flight.
Oh, cool.
But I don't like to be in an airport any more than possible because, you know, I'm really against pollution and stuff like that. And I don't have a car. I've never had a car. So airplanes just put out so much pollution, you know. Yeah.
So you prefer to
a train or
to take a
even
train,
a bus.
a
Yeah,
bus,
even a
or
bus,
so that you're not
But
polluting the
but
air.
it's going to be like that. It's
Yeah.
Gonna be, I mean,
Oh my
I
God.
saw maps of it and people talking about it, and we'll see. Because Thailand is like that. It's got the worst roads in the world, and they're all like that, you know. So it takes hours to get from
point A to point B.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
So, but these poor countries are really wonderful. They're really, really wonderful.
People are kind there.
Yeah. Well, they have a really different character. I mean, they're very, like, the Nepalis are very sweet. You know, but one of them told me how
You've been to Nepal too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You've been to so many places. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But what about Nepal?
Well, I've been up in the Himalayas in Nepal walking on the trekking trails, and I thought, you know, because my experience is here in California, where we have real wilderness and nobody lives out there. But in the Himalayas, people have lived there for thousands of years, and what we have here is a trail. These trails are made by the rangers, you know, but those trails in the Himalayas are thousands of years old. They're highways.
I'm going to give you a mic, so I just want to make sure this is heard, because this is incredible. Hold on, I'll mic you up. I have little mics because I record a lot of videos. Can I put it on you? Do you mind?
Sure. Go ahead.
I'll be careful with your hair. You have such beautiful hair.
Yeah, I've never turned gray. That's nice.
All right, I'm going to put it right here. I think that will be great. And then I have to put this in here. I'm just worried, and I don't want to miss anything you're saying. Ooh. There we go. I'm gonna turn this one on, and then I'm gonna turn mine on as well.
Oh, this is cool.
It's so cool. This is the best invention ever. Do you know how many videos I missed the sound because the sound wasn't good? This is the most important part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I've turned it off mistakenly.
There's some green happening.
That's one mic, that's mine. Oh, now both of them are
Okay,
working.
now they're both happening.
So tell us.
Oh, okay. What was I talking about?
Well, we're talking about Nepal and the real wilderness here. You were saying like there is real wilderness here where you can stay all by yourself, but over there,
yeah, and I
different.
think maybe in Australia and New Zealand, there's some places on the planet where they actually have the wilderness like we have, but not as extensive. I mean, we're really lucky here. You know, there's animals living out there, and they're not somebody's house with a yak. You know, that's what you're going to find in Nepal. You know, I think, but I never got up to the really higher range. You know, I walked for 10 days, and I was still.
You walked for 10 days?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
that's incredible.
With a backpack and but there's like little villages. You're really walking from village to village. You start at the trailhead, and you're walking from village to village on a trail that's really the highway between Tibet and India. It goes back thousands of years.
Oh wow!
So it's just amazing. And there's on Annapurna there was just lots of stairs. It's very well developed and lots of little cute little villages.
That's incredible.
And wonderful people. Oh,
What
amazing.
made you decide to do this, to travel instead of let's say get a home and make a garden and
Well, I've done that.
You've done that already.
I'm 81 years old, so I've done
You're like, I want
everything.
to see
You know?
I've tried
I was
it all.
in Austin, Texas, and I was living in an apartment there. When I turned 60 years old, I thought, oh, I'm not going to travel anymore, or go down to Mexico or anything. I'm just going to live in this apartment because I'm old now. And about 74, they were remodeling and stuff. And I said, I'm just going to go back to California. I'm going to go live in Mount Shasta. So I came up here in 2017.
Me too. My first time I came here is 2017 for the solar eclipse in August 17th.
I saw that too.
Yeah, I was right on top of the mountain with my children. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was when I fell in love with the mountain.
That's the first time you were here. I've been coming here since the 60s.
Oh, wow.
My first husband was a mountain climber, and he brought me up here so he could climb the bowl. We always brought a person with us, so he didn't do that alone. But I never wanted to do that, you know.
Wow. Yeah,
So I came up here. My first experience up here was 1962. In the winter 3 times, you know, up at the Sierra Club Lodge on the tree line up there. There's a little lodge. It's still up there.
I heard about it, but I've never went.
Just go walking up there. There's a good trail from Bunny Flat.
Yes, from Bunny Flats.
It just says there's a sign that says.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one day for sure.
Do it, because then you'll be up at tree line.
I'm gonna start driving a little bit, but please tell me a little bit more. Because I'm also on the way. I promise that I'll be there somewhere at a certain time.
Oh, okay.
But this is way more important. This is so important to me that.
I think it's so cool that you're making these videos, because there were some videos that there's a whole bunch of travel videos online, and there's a couple people. Gabriel, I really like him, and Serpent Za is this guy from South Africa and his American friend, and they both had their own video sites, and then they got together on motorcycles with all this equipment that you have, so they could talk to each other and record their, the scenery as they were passing.
Oh wow!
So they had themselves all set up so they could, and they were traveling. They were both living in China. and there was a lot of Chinese people who didn't like them, and they went up into territory where they weren't supposed to go on these motorcycles.
Yes,
And then
I get that too sometimes. Because I drive a lot. I'm so curious, and sometimes, like yesterday, I was driving to the Indian reservations, and
and
all of a sudden I saw something off the freeway. Like there were lots of people in tents, and it said fire camp. Lots of people in tents, big trucks, in the middle of nowhere, like this, in the middle of the mountains, and I pulled over to ask, what is it? And they didn't like it. I could tell. The guy was like, you're not supposed to be here. I said, well, I didn't know what fire camp is. There's so many people. I thought maybe there is like a big fire.
Did they look like Mexicans or Native Americans?
No,
just
there were
white people.
White and maybe some natives there as well.
Oh, okay.
But the guy who approached me, he was American. And the girl who was sitting next to him, they were like the security. There was a security tent. And it turns out there was a fire, and they invited people to clean up the fire, which is so wonderful.
Okay, that's good.
You know, my curiosity sometimes gets me to these people who are really not welcome. But
but that was only because they were busy
welcoming.
Doing something. It wasn't like some political thing or spiritual thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that when your curiosity leads you, you have to expect that some people will be happy about it, like you are, and some people are not. Some people are very, they want to keep their privacy, their space.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed watching those videos before I ever went to China. And then I was finally in China, and I really loved the Chinese. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I love being in a country and getting to know the people of the
people?
country, because once that person leaves and they come and live in a different country, they start adjusting, and their whole character kind of morphs into local stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is such a beautiful point.
And especially the second generation.
That is such a beautiful point.
Yeah. So you really want to know people.
You gotta go there.
You gotta go to their country.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yes, you're right.
And I got stuck in Rishikesh in India for COVID in this one hotel. And so I really got to know the family. And as the generations got older, it was like the grandparents couldn't speak any English. The parents could speak a tiny bit of English, so I could communicate with them a little. But the son, Vishal, even though he was like in his early 20s and I was like in my 70s, we became really good friends because he could speak English and he was really desperate to learn English from somebody. So, and so
that's incredible.
It was good,
but because you had a chance to meet the grandparents, you probably got a chance. You probably got a chance to eat some really authentic food.
Oh I didn't like the food.
Oh, you didn't like the food?
Rishikesh is like up in Uttarakhand, and I don't know, some of the vegetables, they cook everything to death, and they're these really bitter vegetables that you don't even see them in America, so I don't know what they are.
And they're accustomed to that
they're
flavor.
like bitter melon and stuff like that. And some little awful looking like there's a whole array of them. And I once bought one of each, and I took it back because I have a little kitchen in that hotel, so I can cook. And I cooked each of them and tried to eat them. And really, you have to pour all kinds of Indian sauces on these things for them to taste good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been to this one farmer's market, but I believe the lady is from Thailand, and she has all these squashes that I've never seen before, and all these melons that I've never seen before, and the leaves. But all of them are for stir frying and putting lots of sauces on.
Yes.
Because I tried cutting them for my children and none of us could eat them.
There's this one white squash that's totally tasteless. It's just like worse than a potato.
They just they're good mediums to soak the flavor of the sauce and the spices, probably, and the texture, right?
But in that town, because it's touristic now, they've got like all the Western stuff, like the green peas and the carrots, and potatoes are part of. Well, potatoes come from America, So you know that's not a
Really?
normal.
They don't have their own potatoes? Because potatoes, Belarus, where I'm from, that country is known for potatoes. That's what we're
So is
famous
Ireland, but they come from America.
for. But they come from America?
Yeah, the Native Americans of America.
What is
Corn
that?
and potatoes.
From Native Americans?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's spread
wow.
all over the world now. Everybody's growing it, like in Rishikesh. There's several farms there that I go a little off the beaten track, and they've got corn growing. But it's a Native American.
And they're
like
buying it.
northern Mexico, southern America, you know, like Arizona, New Mexico. Those Indians develop corn out of something.
Oh my God, I want to go there.
Yeah.
Now I want to go
Well,
there.
just look
and see
online
that.
and see where everything came from. Where wheat comes from Europe, rice comes from Asia, and garbanzo beans.
Well, there is also California rice. I buy California rice, and you know what? When I pass from here to Sacramento on the 5, I see these big rice factories,
It
rice
doesn't
fields.
mean that's where it came from originally.
Yeah, but it says California, so I'm assuming that I'm
No,
investing.
you don't understand. The civilizations have cultivated their own grains and their own legumes, like sweet potatoes, those kind of things. There's different ones that come from different parts of the world.
I'm just letting the cars go through because we're driving slow.
I've always been fascinated like that, where bananas come from.
Where do bananas come from?
South America or the Polynesians or something. I don't remember. But they're very, they have been cultivated. So they're not really the original thing at all. They're very commercial. And they're all, a banana's always threatening to just completely not work as a plantation, you know. So.
Wow.
And America didn't used to have any of these exotic fruits, you know.
Of course not.
Yeah, they were
of course not. That's
when
what
I was a kid, it was just like oranges and apples and bananas and
but
pears.
what I'm searching for is actually native food, and that's why I went to a reservation to find out more. I want to find somebody who I can learn from about actual native foods and forage. Remember we talked about it? Because I think that whatever grows naturally in a certain environment is what we should be consuming to create connection through shared microbiome, the soil's microbiome and our tummy.
Oh, absolutely. Like things in its season too.
Exactly. Local, in season, and native plants. Native, not something that we're forcing onto this land, because everything that's cultivated, it requires so much water, so much energy to produce it. But native plants, they're accustomed. They how do you say it? They evolved with the local climate, so they have their own ways. They don't need that much water. They don't need.
There's a book called Wild Edible Plants.
I've heard about that book.
And you might be able to find that in the
Wild Edible Plants
in the library here.
Probably.
Go to the library and look in the plant identification books.
Wild Edible Plants. I believe somebody in the library told me about that book.
Peterson's. I actually met one of these artists that do the drawing once. I think she was in Vermont, and she was illustrating. And I love those books, you know, because I started looking for wild plants when I was a teenager. Because my family moved from San Leandro, which is kind of a city environment, out to Pinole, which was just one little strip of houses on this country road. There were new houses, like ticky-tacky houses, but the rest of Contra Costa County was just barren. I mean, it was just old fields and old ranches and hills and stuff, all covered with wildflowers, and you know. And I was walking around, just exploring, and I found this plant, and I just fell in love with it. And it turned out to be Indian soap plant. It's this little white
soap berry.
Soap plant.
Soap plant.
Yeah, it has a bulb, like a crocus, you know, like one of those things. But you take that bulb and you beat it up, and you've got soap. You can wash your body with it.
I was
or you
looking
can
for
put it
something
in
like
the-
that.
Or you can put it in the water and stun fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So if you're fishing,
Uh-huh.
and you put it in the water, and all the little fish will get knocked out, and you
Oh
scoop
my
them
God.
up. Yeah, but without poisoning them.
Without poisoning.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I was wondering.
It just stun
Like, do you-
fish. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's people used it first for washing their body.
I'm looking for the natural soap. I'm now using soap berry, but it still comes from a bottle, from a jar. But I'm looking for something that.
Well, there's
doesn't have
also
anything.
bouncing bet. There's bouncing bet all over there. This is little white flour, and
It's
it
called
also
what?
has soap in it.
What is it called?
Bouncing bet.
Bouncing bat, and it's here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see
Bouncing
it.
bat,
Yeah.
and it has soap in it.
Yes.
How do I use it?
The plants, well, you crush the plant and the soap will come out, and you put it in water,
And you lather.
and then you have to
yourself
wash it off. It's got saponins in it. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's saponins is how I pronounce it. And any plant that has that, you can use it as a soap. Yeah, and there's a lot of plants that have that. But they have, I mean, the Indian soap plant, I haven't seen it around here. Down in the Bay Area. There's a lot of plants in the Bay Area, and it's got its own little sphere of its own little bunch of plants. And then you leave that area, and you'll see some plants that you never see there. Because my parents moved down from the Bay Area down to around San Luis Obispo to Morro Bay.
To Morro Bay. Wow.
And I saw plants there that I saw all the same, the usual plants that are all over California, but there was some other plants that, oh, what's that, you know? So I had to go find another plant identification book to find out what that plant was and what the Indians used it for. You know, what the Native
You will
people-
tell me where to stop, right?
Pretty soon.
Okay. Wow.
But you
We
can
need
do
to-
all that research, all of that information is so available.
It's not.
Yes, it is. It's
yeah?
in books. It's in
Well,
books.
in
Here.
books, but not
Here.
online. But not online, because sometimes maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Maybe I'm not typing it in correctly. Do
Like
I go deep inside?
Sure, go ahead.
Am I not? My vehicle is very low clearance. Do you
Well,
think?
maybe not too far, but you
Okay.
can go to my camp
Okay,
and
cool.
park in my camp and
Oh,
visit me.
yeah, sure. I will
Yes,
do
you can
that,
come to
and then
my
I
home
will
and
go.
visit.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I will go.
You can take some video of my tent.
Really?
Yes,
Oh
of
my
course.
God, that's so awesome.
I don't
of
have
you.
any. All my worldly possessions are in
a tent,
in a backpack.
in a backpack.
I don't own anything.
anything.
Yeah. I think, well, I
Free
have
as
a
a
cooker.
bird.
I think I have a cooker and a couple dishes
Wow.
in Rishikesh.
In
and
Rishikesh.
also another one in Kathmandu. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I always leave something behind, but a lot of stuff I just give it away, like shampoo and stuff. you
Yeah.
know, I just give it away.
How do you wash your hair? Because I sleep a lot on the mountain, and actually this time I didn't use anything at all.
Here's my camp.
I just go. Oh,
But
that's
let me
awesome.
move something because I put a doorway here.
Oh, no, I'll just stay right here. It's okay,
Okay.
and we'll walk. Yeah, that's so
Okay.
cool. Oh my God.
Yeah, here's my little house.
Yeah, so I've been just washing with water in lakes and stuff, and it worked
That's
out.
good. That's
just
what the hippies do.
Yeah.
They go to Town Lake and they go into the forest where the bushes are close to the water, and they take off their clothes and wash.
Wash. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been just dipping my hair in like pools. All right, let's go see.
But I have been
Your
going
space.
to the tent.
Yes, that's your tent.
You can
That's
see
your
it.
tent. I can see it a little bit. I didn't see it at all until I looked to the side.
Yeah.
Because you said this is my campsite, and I'm like, but there's nothing here. That was my first thought.
But it's a perfect color,
That's
that tarp.
perfect, right? I know. Do you? Because I had a friend who actually stayed almost at this spot, a little bit further, and he said that he had a bear sneaking out his tent one day. He came back.
Really?
Yeah.
In this season? Because there's
No, not in this season. No, not in this
There's no water here, so it's very
Yeah.
difficult for them.
for them to go. But he said that he calls them forest puppies
forest puppies.
Yeah, he's like, they're harmless.
That's a nice. They're huge. They're pretty
Have you
big
ever
birds.
encountered wildlife?
Not
Falcon?
this year.
Not this year?
Well, deers. I've met some deers.
Well, deer, yeah, me
I
too.
want to show you mushrooms. There's reishi mushrooms here.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I'll show you. Because you're from Belarus.
Yes,
the
we're
Russians.
all about mushrooms. I'm actually
Yeah.
on the way to my mushroom guide to pick up a few matsutakis. He just got a few matsutake and he's going to share with me. So,
This is just glass that I'm collecting.
oh, wow.
Yeah, somebody broke some glass. Yeah, so it's on this side of this tree.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're huge.
Whoa.
So these are two old ones here,
Uh-huh.
and this one is a new one,
Uh-huh.
and it's got double. And this one's coming out. It's bigger than it was a couple days ago.
They are
So this one's growing,
huge.
and this one's pretty hardening up.
Wow.
If you put your camera like underneath, it's very interesting underneath. It's dripping with little.
Yes, what is that liquid? Is this, is it taking out toxins from a tree?
Well, I just think it's the moisture of the thing, and you can taste it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's strong.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, I've been walking around in the woods, and I found them near my camp that I had before. I found some.
Wow, these are so beautiful.
And they're reishis, you know. This stuff, when it's powdered, it's like, what I saw was like a box of maybe 16 packets of this powder for about $60.
Oh, yeah,
And,
I know.
yeah.
These are so expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive.
But my friend Wyatt is my mushroom teacher, and he and when he got together with Tal, this woman from Israel, his girlfriend, they were living on reishi mushrooms.
Oh my
They were
God.
just like at this point. I mean, I had a stove up at my camp in 2017, and so I tried cooking it, but I put too much oil in it.
Yeah, I think
and
it's
I
more
cut-
for
I
like
cut
powdering.
2 mushrooms this big, and I realized that I couldn't deal with it, that I was not going to be able to eat it. So I wrapped it up in my bandanas, both of them like this, and I carried them all the way to town park and handed them over to Wyatt's other student, and he knew how to prepare them. So he just started chopping them up and
wow.
drying them, you know,
And drying
making them into
Making
soup.
them into
But
soup.
when Tal and Wyatt were up on the ridge above the sand flat, above the open area, they were living on that and some other little plants that they were eating. I was very proud of them for that.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
you're wanting to forage. You can eat this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I'm gonna read and learn all about it. This is what I'm here for. I was looking for chia flowers and chia seeds.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen them here?
It's like a little ball and a little ball and a little ball like that. It's
like a
mint.
purple
It's
flower.
a mint. Well,
a
when it
purple-
dries up,
Yeah.
you get the little seeds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
So
never
you-
seen it
and-
in dry
yeah.
variation, but I'm gonna search it up. All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna go to my mushroom guide, Dylan, right now,
Yeah.
who is actually, you won't believe it, he is in love with Chinese culture. He studied Chinese language. He learned Chinese language for his a master degree. I think they were going to send him to China, but the quarantine started. So he basically built a cabin here and stayed and studied on his own and learned Chinese perfectly.
Wow.
And now anybody who
not
comes
easy.
here to Mount Shasta from China, they go to him.
So he's on some network,
Well, he
internet network.
he does a little bit of foraging, and I'm sure he's on the internet network.
Or they wouldn't
But-
know who to come
Yeah,
to.
he's also volunteering at museums. So here we are with wonderful Ruth, who I met on top of Mount Shasta, and I'm so inspired by your story because right before I met you, a couple of minutes before that, I was recording a video about changing my life and dropping my Pilates career and following my heart and going to travel and learn about local foods and local culture.
Yeah.
So, and then I
Tai
met
Chi.
you.
Tai Chi, I really
Chi.
recommend
Yes.
Tai Chi.
And then I met you, and you inspired me that and showed me that it is possible.
Oh, yeah.
That it is possible,
Totally,
even when
yeah.
it seems like it's super
When you're
scary.
young, you have like decades of
Yeah.
studying different things.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
and things will come to you too.
Yes.
So.
All right. Bye, guys. Bye.